News reporter Jeremy Desel is at another command center at Magnolia West High School.
And Jeremy, you actually went behind the fire line with crews right up next to the flames?
Yeah, we got very close back to the fire. We'll show you those pictures in just a minute, but right now we're getting some reports that there have been at least 4 people injured and taken to area hospitals as a result of this fire. What's unclear at this point is whether those folks are firefighters or civilians who may have stayed in their homes. All we know at this point is that 4 people have been transferred. We don't know the extent of those injuries, but we got inside the fire lines right around 6 o'clock and found several people who were still at their homes, at their structures, trying to protect their own lands, whether they had help or not. To the ear, it sounds like a storm, but truth is seen. Keeping up is impossible.
It just keeps jumping coming this way.
Even for the experts, what starts small takes off in seconds, pushing Forest Service crews out of this area.
So that's where we're going to focus our resources on, the structure protection. So
leaving Rick Rickett to fend for himself.
Anything you can do to just blade this line.
These flames, too much. His grader cutting his own new lines without much hope.
It's going to go over there and it's going to go around. I think they're trying to save that. This is my place. I'm just trying to keep from burning up.
Just up the road, about 400 yards, is Daryl Aiken's home.
You know, I'm just not going to leave, so I'm going to fight it out.
Not much to fight with here. That's why Michelle Bearden came back to get him.
Are you going to leave him here?
Yes, he's grown. I can't take him. I can't force him to leave.
The dogs don't have a choice.
I mean, yes, we did work hard on the house, but at the same time, I mean, you can't mess with Mother Nature.
As night falls, fire crews expect these flames to lay down, but what they will leave behind are the red-hot embers just waiting for a little wind to blow by and spark those flames yet again, without warning. So Daryl Aiken waits.
Unless it gets right here and I can't do anything about it, you know, I'll leave.
Night isn't the only thing coming. The storm is, too. Now, being so close to the fire line, it's very easy to see exactly how quickly this blaze grew. Just in the area where we were back there for about a half an hour or so, and we watched that fire blossom to seeming to be several hundred yards away from where we were and our position to literally right up against where we were standing in our area. We were in a very safe, defensible space area, kind of like a dirt pit of sorts with nothing burnable around us. So we were taking the precautions as best we could, but really to see the fire that close is very, very impressive. Back to you guys.
Jeremy, it looks like an inferno where you were standing a little bit earlier. You talked about people who were still there a few hours ago. Do you have a sense that most of the people are gone tonight?
Well, it's hard to tell because it's very sporadic. Back in the area where we were, it's not even paved roads. It's all just sort of, not even really gravel roads, just kind of dirt tracks going from building to building, structure to structure. They're all very spread out and it's very forested in that area. We did see several folks who were at their structures and they said they were planning to stay, but they all said that they did have a way to quickly get out if the flames got just too close.
All right, Jeremy Desel live in Magnolia. Thank you. Boston.
But Jeremy Desel leads our coverage. He's taking us behind the fire lines. JD?
Well, there was some good news just about 10 minutes or so ago for some folks who live here off of 1774. They were told that they actually get to go home for the first time in a day and a half. When we first got into this area this afternoon, it was actually very quiet. Not a lot of smoke, just a little bit here and there, but it did not take long for that to change. It may look settled, finished, just the charred remains, a hot spot or two, not finished.
You can't control it. I mean, it's running wild.
We found Jason Jacobs on a remote trail in the fire zone near the Grimes County line. It's usually the cattle running on him.
We got a lot of people in here.
He's prepared for that. Not this.
It's running wild.
Can't rope it.
No, you can't. It's different. It's real different.
Last night he loaded up his horse trailer. It burned his and his family's possessions inside. So now he's just looking to help. But there's trouble around the bend.
I'm going to family's house now, son. go check on them. And
Whatever he and Diablo might do. Like when a fire crew's radio isn't working, the old Texas way comes through.
that gentleman up there asked me, he's not communicating with somebody and he needs to get a booster truck elsewhere to help somebody out and their radios aren't working. So he asked me if I'd jog down in here since I was on my way and try to find a booster truck for him, and that's what I'm doing.
Plenty of ways to fight fire. Even where there are fire lines, it takes only an instant for the flames to jump from one side of the road to the other. Whether the fire has already burned through or not, there's just 3 crews available for this area. One of them, Cy-Fair volunteers.
Just going in, hitting hot spots.
It sounds simple enough.
Looking for the fire. Wherever the fire is, we start putting water on it.
Just one problem.
A lot of fire.
Flaring up quickly, still plenty of fuel consumed even faster. Only night brings rest to the fire line, at least for the flames. They may lie down, looking settled, looking. Now, it took us about 2.5 hours to make it from the area where we are now, what would normally be just about a 6-mile trip over to the other side into Montgomery County. Took us some time, but literally 5 minutes ago, I did run into Jason Jacobs here where we are standing. He made it through that fire zone a whole lot slower than we did. Guys?
Well, Jeremy, they're fighting this from the ground. They're fighting it from the air. You showed us how they've also tried some fire breaks as well. Do they have any other tactics at their disposal, or is it just going to take some time?
Well, it's just going to take time. Right now, the biggest problem is wind blowing up these fires out here. It had laid down pretty much all the way. I mean, we didn't see much fire at all other than little spotty ground fires for the first hour we were on the fire lines. And then, just as quick as it could be, it all flared right back up.
All right, we'll hope they can catch a break from Mother Nature. Jeremy, thanks.
That's right. If you're going to come here, prepare to move fast. That's the only speed Randy Baird knows.
Oh, you can't catch me walking.
He's not the only one. No stopping, too much need.
I could use some socks and some shorts and stuff like that.
Carolyn Warren has been out of her Oak Hollow neighborhood home for 5 days. She's in need, just doesn't know how much yet.
Fingers crossed, and I keep getting conflicting reports and don't know yet.
Won't know until she knows about her house. Even with all this stuff, they don't have the one thing she needs most.
I need sleep.
As fast as one vehicle leaves, another arrives to give donations here at Warm Ministries. Not just furniture and other home goods, but also food, water, and other needs. The challenge now, finding where to put it all. A good problem to have.
This is the top for the other table.
No need to advertise.
Couch and a couple of chairs.
These ladies come from Hempstead with a mattress someone will need.
Yeah.
One eye always on the sky.
You hope it doesn't get any closer.
Only the fickle winds have any control over that.
We got smoke bad a couple of times through here, and that makes you think about it.
Sandy Huntsinger didn't have to leave home to help. She's housing friends who were evacuated, but felt she had to do more.
Well, these are our neighbors. They're not very far away at all, and we're just concerned about what's happening to them. It could happen anywhere at any time.
Is there ever really enough that you can do for these folks?
No. We left our name and number and said, please call us. What can we do? It is a huge situation. I don't think we've seen anything quite like this before.
Exactly why Randy Baird refuses to stop.
Right here, right here.
Too much to do.
Just another day of living.
Even though he, too, has been forced out by the fire. Has been. Nearly a week.
I got friends all over that help me out and stuff. But the main thing is for people to help other people.
Not just in the event of fire.
All right, you have a good day, sir. Thank you.
Jeremy Desel, KHOU 11 News.
KHOU 11 News reporter Jeremy Desel is in Waller County.
Wonder what joy looks like?
My heart just patting. It's just such a relief.
Looks like this.
And it don't look like we have any damage in the bag. Thank you, Jesus.
BJ Vladovich had heard the worst. This destroyed, that gone, only to come home to this.
Don't like we have any damage at all.
Not what she was expecting.
Keep the faith. Don't believe everything you're hearing, because if I'd have believed everything I heard, I wouldn't have a home right now.
She may have her answers, but back at the 1488 roadblock, Mary and Vernon Parsons still have questions. Day 6 since a deputy knocked on their door.
They said, get out.
Or go to jail.
The last one came in and said, or go to jail.
Since then, they celebrated their 62nd wedding anniversary, sitting in a parking lot. What's happened to their home, still a mystery. A long way from joy.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
If I lay there at night and think about it, I get real depressed.
There's nothing simple about the way folks are able to get back home. Take, for example, Country Lane Estates. If you live on the east side of Joseph Road, you're home free, allowed to come on back. But if you live on the west side of Joseph, no such luck.
This is the closest we've gotten in 8 days.
Still can't get home, but thanks to some help from the law,
Yes! That's all I wanted.
still no bed, but plenty more joy.
And we have a house, so now we can relax a little bit and know that we're going to go home one day. It's the not knowing that's been so awful.
Knowing is overwhelming too.
I want to cry.
Good tears
Hi, honey.
should be shared.
Here we are home, honey. I'm home standing in our front yard.
Wow, terrific.
More waiting, this time for her husband. But that's easy when you're at home. There are neighborhoods that are actually split down the middle, with half of the residents being allowed to come home and the other half being told to stay away. Here at the command center, they're continually assessing what roads should and should not be open. They expect plenty more tomorrow, potentially even the length of FM 1488. In Waller County, I'm Jeremy Desel, KHOU 11 News.